Hey everyone, welcome to Jojo's World.
Good morning. We're back.
We're back. We've been away for a few weeks,
Too
maybe
long.
a month.
Literally the longest amount of time I've ever felt pass by.
We both got the novel coronavirus at the same time.
And it was fucked.
We didn't enjoy it. Look, we've had a lot of fun in the last 4 years of this ongoing global pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend getting COVID-19.
I wouldn't recommend getting sick full stop.
No, I'd prefer to be healthy and live forever.
I like being alive.
Well, let's not go nuts here.
Well, it means that I can enjoy the fine content of Jojo's Bizarre
That's true.
Adventure.
Only living people can listen to Jojo's World, this podcast. I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is our Jojo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast where we like to enjoy a little anime called Jojo's Bizarre Adventure that you can only enjoy if you're alive or if you've put on the stone mask and become a vampire.
Oh, okay.
This episode covers chapters 96 through 98 of the manga. It is episode 23 of Stone Ocean. Chapters 96 to 98 of the Stone Ocean manga.
Oh, I'm aware.
690 and 692 of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure manga as a whole. And it is, of course, entitled Jailhouse Lock.
Huh.
Huh.
That's the wrong. That's not quite the.
Of course, we're all well aware of the frequent transposition of L and R in Japanese text.
But what if they could have just said Jailhouse Rock anyway?
But Nick, it's a lock on the jailhouse.
Oh my god, it's to keep people in.
Exactly, or keep people out.
Oh my god. Man, I only just thought maybe there's like a circumstance where you would use a lock to keep people out, and then I thought that is literally the reason
That's
I use a
houses.
lock like
That's houses, Nick.
99.99% of the time.
But if only there was something like that.
Yeah, but like in a jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jailhouse.
Oh, right. So it's like a house, but it's like
It's a sort of high security house unit.
a high security house unit?
Yeah.
Like one of those really like smart houses that then goes crazy.
You don't remember the name of the building that we spent the last 6 episodes of JoJo's in, do
Oh,
you?
the high security ward or something?
House unit.
Wait, is it actually
the
called?
ultra security house unit?
God damn it.
It has been a while.
Oh god, it's been... And I think I've lost half my memories, so...
Yeah, we've both sustained potential viral damage to our central nervous systems and hearts and lungs.
Woo! I'm still struggling to breathe.
Quite appropriate, given that this episode is about dementia, essentially.
And pterograde amnesia.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting a bit close to home.
Love that for me.
Yikes. Hey, Liam.
Hey, Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm here to represent the people.
In this episode of the podcast, Liam can only record 3 memories at once, and then he returns to the start of the podcast.
Let me tell you, Liam, about one memory that I haven't forgotten about, which is that we have a Patreon.
A Patreon.
That's right.
Patreon.com/JoJo's World.
The very same.
Wow.
In fact,
People should support us at that.
well, they do.
Oh, good.
And would you believe that if they do, they get a shout out on the podcast?
No, did they get anything else?
No, not really. Not anymore. So, would you believe, Liam? Would you believe people, for some reason,
Good reasons.
keep
Good,
giving us money?
The reasons is our content.
That's fair enough, yeah. Yeah, okay, I can get behind that, yeah. But it's still so much money.
For me.
Wait, and me? What? Hang on a minute. But did you know we've had new people? We've had a whole nother person.
Wow.
A whole extra dollary
And it
doobad.
only took taking a month off the podcast.
Seems that when we die and don't do the podcast, more people support us.
They're paying us to stop.
It's like, literally, we could put
this evil out in the world. Maybe if we give them money, they'll go away.
an empty box here, record the podcast, come back, stop the podcast.
Sounds of silence. Nick, who is our patron?
Would you believe, Liam? It is Ryan Magoon.
Ryan Magoon, one of my top goons.
Right behind Uni Goon, which we all drank at uni, of course.
I didn't.
I mean, I also didn't.
Expound on that.
Well, everyone that I knew at uni was really like, oh, yeah, gonna get drunk tonight.
Is that what you used to play Goon of Fortune? Which I believe is when you strapped a goon bag, or wine bag, maybe for our international... You get like a cheap cask of wine with one of those bags in it, and you take the bag out.
Yeah, it's like a cardboard
colloquially referred to as a goon bag, and you would strap that to a Hills Hoist washing line, and then roulette it around, and then whoever it stopped in front of had to drink it.
Oh, I just remember when they would duct tape it to people's hands.
Oh, like...
And you were only allowed to get rid of it once you were done with it.
Yeah. Of course, the great advantage of the goon bag on a bender is that it can also be filled with air when you're done with it and used as a makeshift pillow.
And, perhaps most importantly, the goon bag can become sentient and become...
a patron of Jojo's World. Thanks, Ryan.
You beautiful goon bag. Why do people give us money? I don't understand.
Because it's good content, Nick.
You've
got to back yourself.
That's true. I do
You've
enjoy
believe in
insulting.
yourself.
We do make good content.
Nick, you've been playing the Resident Evil series lately because everyone's so excited about Resident Evil 4 2.
No, you got to say it like the guy in
Resident Evil 4.
No, you got to have more gusto. You got to be like, Resident Evil.
What are you buying? One copy of Resident Evil 4, please.
And then you like hands it over. It's just a gun.
Got a lot of video games on sale, stranger.
Oh my god. This guy has so many video games. He could open up an entire store.
Whatever happened to that guy?
What, the merchant guy?
Yeah.
No one fucking knows. Like, literally, he's in the game. It's like, where'd he come from? It's like, I don't fucking know. He's just there. He's just a merchant. And then, like, the game ends, and it's like, so what happened? It's like, I don't fucking know. He's just a merchant. Come on. I do love that in the acclaimed DLC Separate Ways, where you play as Ada. So normally when you're playing as Leon, you go into like the main kind of tower building, and then the merchant's there. But when you're playing as Ada, you have to go that way first, and the merchant is like, "Oh, well, hello there. I'm actually still setting up." But
is he speaking in a normal voice?
No, he doesn't say it like in a voice.
Okay.
It's like all in text. He's like, "Oh, hello there. I wasn't expecting anyone yet. I haven't even set up my iconic blue flames. But I suppose the customer comes first."
That rules.
So good. So good.
What a good video game.
Yeah. But I just love the fact that it implies that he's taken them down.
Yeah, it's like all kind of a bit.
Yeah, and he's reached there before Leon gets there and set it up before he's gotten there. And it's like, how? It's
Nick.
amazing. Yes.
That's great. I'm really glad you're enjoying the series.
Well, I always enjoyed the series.
Oh.
I've always been a Resident Evil fan.
You hadn't played 7 before, had you?
No, and now that I am, and I am up to the last bit, and it is...
Good.
Well, it's fine.
Would you describe it as the kick in the pants the franchise needed after 5 and 6?
I mean, yeah, more or less, but like the whole last bit where I'm playing as someone else.
Leon?
No, not Leon.
Claire?
Maybe Claire. Maybe...
But especially Leon.
No, so without spoiling anything, because I'm sure someone out there will get angry if I spoil what happens at the end.
Yeah, we would never spoil a thing on this show.
Never. So
I saw John Wick 4 this week.
And would you believe Lance read it?
Leon was in it.
Oh my god, Leon Scott Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Did Chris show up?
No, that would be ridiculous.
Oh, okay, alright. What about Jill?
Ashley, the president's daughter, was in it.
You know what? Okay, so,
Hang on, we got to keep track of how sidetracked we're getting. You were finishing an anecdote.
Yeah, so at the end of 7, you play as
someone else. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
And
yes.
And all of your stuff gets taken away, but
not my stuff.
You kind of, as far as I can tell, go between 2 kind of times. So sometimes you'll have stuff, and then you come back and you're like, oh, I haven't got stuff again. Well, this is fine. And they start trickling stuff to you again, and it's like, well, I already did this for much longer and in a much more satisfying way. So why am I doing this a second time?
That's a shame. I guess you should have just opted for the bad ending and not done this act of the game.
I should have just been like, is this the canonical ending? Maybe.
Nick, we open in 1988. Or maybe 7.
Hitler rises to power.
Again. No. We actually have the sequence we were talking about last episode that I couldn't remember when it occurred in the show, where Dio is enumerating what he needs for his ultimate power ritual that was never mentioned before.
Which is literally everything that Poochie explained the episode before.
So first he needs his stand, the world.
Which I am confused about, but we'll come back to it,
Okay.
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
And a good friend. A really good friend. Who isn't interested in sex or power.
He's a man of God, not a man of lust and sin.
And 36 souls of the worst convicts.
So clearly prisoners.
Mm-hmm. Because the souls of sinners have tremendous energy. And he also needs 14 words.
So question.
Yeah.
He specifically... Oh, hello.
The hiccups.
Great. He specifically says 36 souls of convicts.
At least.
Because the souls of sinners, which is a different word, have tremendous power or something.
Yeah, but they were the worst convicts.
Have impressive vibes.
The worst convicts, Nick. The terriblest.
The
kinds you might find in a sort of maximum security house unit.
The ones that would be eaten up, gobbled, if you will, by a tree.
Yeah.
That would produce a baby.
That's right.
And then he's like, and then I need 14 words.
And he says he's etched them onto his stand. Don't know how that works, and don't know why Araki made that decision, given we've seen the world from a lot of angles and it didn't have any text on it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if we've seen any words on the world before.
No.
But yeah. And then he
says, so this is like clearly a different way that could have gone were Dio still around. Mm-hmm. He also says he would let go of his stand just once, and as it's decaying, it would gather the energy from the souls and give birth to something new. And the camera shows us the green baby.
The very same baby that gobbled up those prisoners.
Yeah, kind
from
of.
the trees.
The baby will be curious about the 14 words spoken by the trusted friend. My friend will... It's just the line of dialogue is so weird. My friend will find me trustworthy, and he will consider me his friend.
I mean...
Dio just wants a friend.
I mean, to be fair, Liam, are we friends?
No, we're colleagues.
Do you find me trustworthy?
And finally, the element that I didn't reveal last episode is then Dio, or as actually happens, Father Poochie, needs to go to the location... north latitude, 28 degrees, 24 minutes. West longitude... 80 degrees, 36 minutes.
Now, I know some things about longitude and latitude.
Okay.
So that's like way north and way like on the planet. It's like
that's correct, Nick.
It's on that ring. It's somewhere there.
And yet kind of incorrect, given how things go.
Huh? So maybe it's Florida.
I mean, that seems like a reasonable guess, given...
We're in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then wait for the new moon.
So, like...
Time for heaven, new moon, new priest.
Yeah, like, we immediately see Poochie walk out of the prison.
He's had a glow-up.
He's become Jojo.
He's, like, his face has taken on some of the traits of the bebe.
Has it?
Yeah, it's, like, around his eyes. He's got those little,
true.
like, eyelash growths. And his facial hair has become much more elaborate and, like, formed a star on his forehead. And, like, geometric lines around his eyes and cheekbones.
Oh, God, I didn't even notice the star on his forehead. And the back of him now has hair, like ponytails coming out from his neck.
And I don't know if I'm remembering his colour scheme from one of the video games, but I feel like maybe his clothes have changed colour too.
Yeah, they're more blue.
They were more of a purple previously?
Now they're blue and...
Blue or dark black, or more of a black?
Yeah, kind of. Well, that was always black, but it's more...
Was it? Okay.
I think it's the blue highlights that are getting me.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been...
No, I think you might be right, actually.
I thought he might have been wearing a purple with a gold cross rather than the black. But I may be misremembering.
I think you might be right, though.
But crucially, his hair...
is just...
So he's got streaks throughout the top of his hair. Like as if someone has like shaved lines into it.
Yep.
And then...
Like a good barber.
Yep. There's clearly a break where he's got no hair on the back of his neck, but then coming out the bottom of the back of his neck, just above his shoulder blades, is sort of 3 tufts, like almost ponytail-like, which there are ports in his habit.
His habit?
Do priests wear habits, or...
Wait, what the hell's a habit?
Like, no, that's nuns. Nuns wear habits.
What the hell's a habit?
Nick, I'm asking you to use context clues here.
Yeah, but like, what? This is just like a jacket. He's taken away his
what
religious
is
garb.
A priest's coat called?
I swear, if it just comes up with, it's usually
a
called...
cassock. Oh, that's worn by Roman Catholic people. Oh, that's their white shawl, I think. Vestment, his vestments.
Yes, that's what we're going for. through the top of his vest.
Anyway, yes, there are 3 like standalone white
mighty
ponytails. And also he's got the Joestar birthmark now.
Which is strange.
Which the baby, of course, had.
Yes.
But what does that mean? What are the implications, Nick?
Have they melded together? Has one eaten the other one? We did see the baby begin to eat Poochie.
And he's leaving. He's just leaving the prison. And the priests are like, hey, father, you've grown your hair out. Not commenting on the other crazy changes to his face and eyes.
And then
And
weird...
like, wow, you didn't have that long hair yesterday when I saw you, father.
And then weird line of dialogue. When was the last time you visited the motherland?
Mainland.
The
They're on an
mainland.
island.
Oh, okay.
It's quite a normal line of dialogue, actually.
I thought they said motherland, and I was like...
Comrade Pucci, when are you returning to the motherland? It's time to activate your sleeper code phrase. Here are the 14 words. Rhinoceros beetle.
New moon, new revolution.
And he's leaving the prison. He's like, I've got no use for this prison anymore. I've done some shit.
So he just walks out.
Yep. And
He's
he
gone.
stands in the beautiful Florida sunlight.
It feels like his clothes are tighter now. It feels like they're tighter.
He's a Jojo character. They were always tight.
They're always, but this
Taut.
feels tighter, you know?
Meanwhile, in prison, Jolyne's been thrown back in the disciplinary wing again.
Again.
And it's super high security on account of all those prisoners who died in the high security zone. So Emporio, the little baseball boy with his ghost room powers, is having trouble sneaking around.
He's still got his baseball, but
This is the highest maximum security measure ever!
everyone has guns.
Hey, Jolyne, can you hear me?
Jolyne, can you hear me?
The priest isn't on this island anymore. Oh no, the priest is gone.
And then Jolene's all like, it's really fucking boring in here.
Jolyne's so bored in solitary that she gave herself a belly button piercing.
How? I mean, she does have a stand, actually. That's
Got a thread-based stand that could maybe do some piercing.
We literally see later in this very same episode, it piercing
I don't
her
know where she got
skin,
the ring from, though.
She always had the ring, but she's a JoJo's character. If they want to make a new piercing, they've got the ring already.
So, Jolyne is like, Emporio, have you contacted the Speedwagon Foundation? I can't. It's too high security. But I've got the disc. Great, well, I'm going to break out of prison. No, Jolyne, you can't break out of prison. It's too scary.
No one's ever done it before.
Well, I'm gonna do it.
You can't do it.
But Jolyne, I'm so scared to break out of prison. You see, I was born in the darkness.
I didn't see light until I was a man.
Yeah.
Emporio, you're not a man.
Exactly.
So
I've never been outdoors. That's why I fetishize baseball to such a high degree.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. That makes so much more sense. So Jolene's like, shut up, Emporio. I'm going to go break out of this motherfucking prison.
Yeah.
As she is to do, with attitude. Yeah.
So then Emporio leaves and she's like, okay, time to break out of prison. Wait, someone's coming.
So then some motherfucker wearing like fucking fishnets.
Quote unquote fishnets.
Quote unquote fishnets.
They got like polka dot holes in them.
with like ratty ass blonde hair.
Big fur coat.
Weird intestine looking.
Hair strands.
Well, I was going to say coat
Oh, yeah.
pattern, but
With like eyeballs hanging off the bottom. Her coat is like a mutilated Muppet.
yeah, I was going to say it looks like the alien things that are like. Yeah,
that's...
I love how I made the gesture of like my hand talking.
Yeah.
As if no other Muppets possibly.
I know what you mean though. And her skirt says delicious on the ass.
Oh, damn.
And next to her is her stand, which looks like sort of an anatomical figure.
It looks like something out of like.
You know when they're going to like do plastic surgery on you and they get the texture and they mark up like dotted lines like and
Yeah.
here and it's got that all over it.
I was going to say it looks like something from Magic the Gathering's Phyrexia. Where
Couldn't tell you.
It's all super smooth and yet somehow grotesque.
And it's got pockets.
Ooh! Oh, wow. Okay, I thought that was like muscle and stuff.
I mean, it's just patterning, but it looks
Yeah.
like pockets.
It looks like something out of Hellraiser.
It looks a
or
bit
something.
like Jinzo from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, it looks exactly like Jinzo! Except not black, but the brain is definitely exposed.
Yes.
Oh, it's got such a massive brain.
So this motherfucker in her stand walks up and is like, hey, don't try and leave the prison because I'll stop you.
And Jolene's like,
I'm going to try and leave the prison.
and then Mew Mew's all like,
Oh yeah, Mew Mew's all like putting mascara on.
I'm pretty. Is that putting mascara on, or is that trimming the eyebrow? Hi, welcome
to Makeup Boys.
Two 30-something-year-old white men talk about makeup, women's makeup, because we're experts in the field.
It's an eyelash curler.
Ah, okay.
She's curling her eyelashes.
She cannot be allowed to do that in a prison?
No.
God, maybe it's a metaphor.
Nick, what do you think her deal is?
I think maybe she's just kind of a dick.
In JoJo's? No.
Yeah, so she has a very, like, holier-than-thou energy, but very, like, I want to control...
I mean, she spends the rest of the episode, like, gaslighting Jolyne, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean...
With her standard, but also with regular pranks.
Yeah. So, she just kind of has the vibe of someone who's like, yeah, I control you now. I'm the one who gets to decide how this prison is run.
Master manipulator.
Exactly. That's why her stand has such a big brain.
It's also worth mentioning that her stand's hands end in blades.
Ooh, big flaps, but
So
sharp.
Jolyne goes to punch through the bars, but then the stand is in the bars. And she goes to do it again, and then suddenly she's in her cell, back with Gwess.
Oh, okay. I'm here now.
Gwess is holding a book of crosswords like she's reading it.
I didn't realize it was a book of crossword. What the?
And like in this sequence, like Jolyne takes her pen and all that, but just like and we don't know how long this has been going for, to be fair, but she is just sitting on the top bunk of their cell, just reading this crossword book.
What I love about this is that Araki must have made this a thing in the manga where it's like, oh, she's got her book. What could it be? Oh, I know, crosswords. But clearly never thought it through. What gets me is that the anime then decided, okay, she has a book. What
It's
kind of book is it?
crosswords.
It's crosswords. That still makes sense. You know what? We'll roll with it.
In the midst of the Sudoku boom of the early 2000s.
Oh, man, it's so unrealistic.
So, Jolyne is having brain problems. She's got memento disease.
Memento disease.
Yeah. She's been mementoed.
Which we know is the Christopher Nolan classic made in 2001.
Now, I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it's got similar thing where Guy, like, has no memories and writes messages to himself on himself.
Yeah, so literally it's the same.
Okay. Does he also have inability to form new memories? Or
Yes.
rather, can he form 3 memories precisely?
It's basically like he doesn't remember anything.
Okay, so Jolene's got 3 up on him.
Yeah, so like the film is like 2 timelines. One's moving forward, one's moving back. And so at the quote,
like Tenet.
no, because Tenet is like
Haven't seen it.
It's like a linear story. It's just that time diegetically
Looper?
is different. No,
Like Jumper.
no,
Like Fast 8, Fate of the Furious.
more like that. No, but it's like at the start of the film, you're actually in the middle of the film and at the start of the film.
I can see that the poster for the film is a series of nested Polaroids representing nested memories.
Yeah, so basically he has no idea who anyone is at any given time. He can remember like his ex-wife because obviously it's like burned into his brain, but he's tattooed all over because he's trying to find, I think, who killed his wife, maybe?
It's based on a short story by Jonathan Nolan entitled Memento Mori, which is a Latin phrase meaning remember that you have to die.
Ooh!
Whereas Jolyne has to remember that she has to kill Mew Mew.
Ironically, it's someone else has to die in Memento as well, which is very weird.
In the story, a man named Earl has anterograde amnesia, which I suppose not to be confused with retrograde amnesia.
Now, what is the difference between anterograde and
Well,
retrograde?
anterograde, I'm putting this together from half-remembered memories of undergraduate psychology and also context clues.
Yeah.
But anterograde amnesia would be the inability to form new memories.
Okay.
And retrograde amnesia would be,
your old
I got
memories
hit on the
go
head
away.
by a coconut and now
Yeah.
I don't know who I am.
Yeah, Castaway.
No, but yes.
Yeah.
I got hit on the head by a coconut and now I think this volleyball's a guy.
And it's retrograde
Willowgrade amnesia.
I would love if they were just like, so then we have Castaway
And when you just
amnesia.
remember reliving the same day over and over again, that's Groundhog Day amnesia.
Groundhog
Dame-
Dame-nesia?
Groundhog Day amnesia.
Why is it Groundhog Day?
Like retrograde.
Oh, okay, right, gotcha. Ugh. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Jolyne is mementoing in that she can't remember more than 3 things because if she gets distracted, the memories aren't forming.
Yeah, so she can
only
remember 3 things at once, and
in
the
her
fourth
working
thing,
memory.
the fourth thing replaces the. Okay, imagine 4 balls on the edge of a cliff.
Okay.
No, imagine 3 balls on the edge of it. This is a very niche meme reference, but I'm going to go through it because it actually suits this situation better than trying to explain time travel, which was the original application of this metaphor.
Okay,
the terrible, something awful project game that never got off the ground, Zyborn Clock.
Can I?
No. Damn. Okay, no, you can.
Okay, so imagine there's 3 bears trying to invade your home.
Imagine there's 3 bowls of porridge on the edge of a cliff.
And
One memory is too hot.
And then you're presented with a 4th bowl.
No, imagine there are 3 balls on the edge of a cliff.
Okay.
The cliff has space for 3 balls.
Yep.
If you add a new ball, it pushes off the one that's closest to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, and you're holding a basket of balls and constantly putting more balls.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they keep getting pushed off because there's only room for 3
Time
balls.
travel works the same way. This is such a niche reference. What are you doing, Liam?
Imagine if...
Do you want info? Do you want some contextual info on
kinda
Zyborn Clock?
Imagine you have 3 something awful references that you can fit into one podcast.
We've got the killer zip line, or RIP line.
Wait, is this part of the same reference?
No, this is another something awful thing.
Okay.
You've got Grover House.
Yep.
And you've got the Doom Bathroom.
Okay, now imagine you've only got an hour to fit in those 3 references, right? And your game plan going into the podcast is, I'm going to get those 3 references. But then you remember, maybe from like 2 years ago, another reference. Well, now there's only room for 3 references.
Oh, no.
So one of those 3 things has got to go. And obviously it's the first one because, the second 2, you were on fire. You were starting to remember, oh yeah, actually, I remember that. But I don't remember the first one. What was that first one I was going to do?
The Zyborn Clock is an abandoned game project proposed by members of the Something Awful forums. The concept as well as the storyline was mocked incessantly by members of the forum since the idea was posted.
Is this like the Dragon MMO levels of like, hey, I've got a great game idea and everyone going, don't do this?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Defining characteristics include there's balls on the edge of a cliff metaphor, the character of Johnny Five Aces.
Wait. The balls on the cliff is a game, like, it's just a game mechanic.
No, it's a metaphor that the game employed.
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, keep going.
The character of Johnny Five Aces, who you might remember from his cameo appearance as a corpse in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Okay, sure. What's linking any of this together? Like
the Zyborn Clock.
But what is... Okay, what's the point of the game? Like, I assume...
It was like an RPG or adventure game or something.
But I assume there was, like, a reason behind...
These are just memorable elements that people made fun of.
Okay, all right.
People wanted to make a game. They didn't have...
the budget or time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay,
they were mocked
here's an
incessantly.
AMA from Reddit.
Okay.
I was the lead level designer of the Zyborn Clock.
Oh, wait, so this was actually gonna get made?
No. I was supposed to be lead. By lead, I mean only level designer, and the game was going to use the RPG Maker XP engine. As the project fell through in less than a month after getting started, I never actually got to design any levels. The drama, however, was ridiculous. Though I was not directly involved in said drama, as that was all on the creators/writers, but I do remember a few tidbits. Edit. The reason I even made this is because I started playing Fallout New Vegas and got the Easter egg.
Interesting. Wait, so there was drama.
Yes. Question from Sweet Tea and Whiskey. This game was about sending a clock back in time or something, right? And the response, tell you the truth, I don't even know what was going on. I still don't understand the 4 balls on a cliff theory. I always thought time travel games are very hard to do and have to be done carefully. Most of the story that is out now was leaked after the fact. They kept it all closely guarded unless you were one of the writers. I just knew that the clock itself was actually a city that floated mid-air in the middle of the ocean and was all supposed to have a very steampunk feel to it.
Ah, so they were making Legacy of Kain Bioshock weird cliff metaphor.
I'm Googling, imagine 4 balls on the edge of a cliff. Oh, and it's taken me, the first result was the Fallout New Vegas page, wiki page, for this cameo.
Okay. Johnny Five Aces.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Johnny is found dead on the cliffside overlooking Good Springs Source, provided the player has the Wild Westland trait. Behind the scenes. Johnny is a nod to the character Johnny Five Aces from the Zyborn Clock, an abandoned game project proposed and mocked incessantly by members of the Something Awful forums.
Wait, so this
The
character...
reference was implemented by Josh Sawyer, aka Rope Kid. The following is a quote the main developer of the Zyborn Clock used to describe the project, which explains the placement of the balls in-game. When the object enters the time stream, time begins to correct itself. Let me use this example. Imagine 4 balls on the edge of a cliff. Say a direct copy of the ball nearest the cliff is sent to the back of the line of balls and takes the first place of the first ball. The formerly first ball becomes the second becomes the third, and the fourth falls off the cliff. Time works the same way.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
And in this context, memory works the same way.
Wait, what? So the fourth ball is being moved, or is it a copy of that ball?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. For a second, I thought he just meant, so imagine this ball is getting moved to here. So now you still only have 4 balls.
And that's how juggling works.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now imagine 4 chainsaws on the edge of a cliff.
While we've taken this uncharacteristic diversion from the episode recap, let's talk about Mew Mew and Jailhouse Rock.
Hell yeah.
Jailhouse Lock, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm apologising.
Oh, sorry.
No! Jojo Valley commentary for Jailhouse Lock is as follows. Memories were a common theme in entertainment at the time, and this stand went with the trend. It has a humanoid design that emphasises the brain, and since it doesn't fight in melee combat...
Despite having blades for
grammar
arms.
here. And since it doesn't fight in melee combat, so I guess that's why it doesn't have hands to punch with.
Wait. Okay, hang on.
Do you want me to say that last sentence again?
No. Are they blades or are they just like flaps?
They're blade shaped.
So they're like fins.
Maybe.
So if you were to get like hit with it, it would be like a...
It can still slap you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's good. They're good slappers, but they're not good punchers.
No.
They got no weight to them. They're just like real pat on the back appendages.
Jailhouse Lock's namesake is Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley.
Oh my god. Any fun trivia about Jailhouse Rock?
What do you know about this song, Nick?
I know that it's all like, Jailhouse Rock. That's all I got.
Yep, we're doing the Jailhouse Rock.
Look, we're going to Jailhouse Rock tonight, children.
Some of the characters named in the song are real people. Shifty Henry was a well-known Los Angeles musician, not a criminal.
Huh.
The Purple Gang was a real mob.
Wait, what? As in like an actual real criminal mob?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Elvis. No wonder he died. Too soon? Like?
I mean, no. Number 67 on Rolling Stone's list of the top 500 greatest songs of all time.
Ugh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it up there.
It peaked at number 3 in Australia.
Number 3?
Yeah, on the charts.
We reckon it's one of the greatest songs of all time. Oh, how'd it do? Yeah, it was number 3 on the charts. Was it early in his career that he made it?
Looks like it.
How young is he? Oh, damn, he's real young. Damn.
Elvis Presley, aka the King of Rock and Roll,
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
a nobleman from the 20th century.
Tell me, what fiefdom did he own?
Rock and roll.
And what duchies did he control?
Is it duchy or duchy?
I actually don't know.
Okay, me neither.
But I always thought we call it duchy because we're like new fancy English. Ooh, with your ch sounds. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it would make a lot more sense to call them dukies because dukes.
Because Duke's got him.
Yeah. Duke's got him. Hey, Duke. You got him.
And you know who Elvis is. Jailhouse Lock's stand user,
Mew Mew.
Mew Mew, aka
A shiny Pokemon.
Mewtwo Mueller.
Wait, what?
Mueller?
Mewtwo Mueller.
Mueller.
Huh. Mueller.
Is named after both Miuccia Prada, the Italian fashion designer, and the subsidiary brand of Prada, Mew Mew.
Wait. So Mew Mew is named after Miuccia Prada and Mew Mew.
Yes, which is named after Miuccia Prada.
Which has a subsidiary company, Mew Mew, which Mew Mew is named after.
Yes.
Who is also named after Miuccia Prada, but they have a subsidiary.
Nick, you can only remember 3 facts about these names at a time. Go.
I'm pretty sure there is only 3 facts right now, which is Mew Mew is named after Prada, which has a subsidiary company named Mew Mew, who Mew Mew is named after. But
yes,
they're named after Prada. Oh, God.
Okay, we will start with Miuccia Prada and then work inward.
Okay.
An Italian billionaire fashion designer and the founder of Prada and the founder of its subsidiary, Mew Mew.
Yeah, I don't like it. So is Miuccia Prada spelled like MIU something?
CCIA. The youngest granddaughter of Mario Prada took over the family-owned luxury goods manufacturer in 1978.
Oh.
Her business philosophy is that she deliberately avoids merging high art with fashion, saying, "Art is for expressing ideas and expressing a vision. My job is to sell." A true capitalist.
Wow. Imagine just imagine coming to anyone these days and being all like, look, art's about expressing yourself and like really trying to put yourself in the work. Don't do that. Make it sell. It's like, but aren't we designing things? Oh, we absolutely are. Make it sell. Don't make it artistic. That's like going to a museum and being
I think
all
they're
like,
known for like their luxury leather goods.
yeah, I actually don't know if I know anyone.
Yeah, like a Prada bag. That's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I know anyone who's ever bought a Prada bag. I know people who've bought like Louis Vuitton bags,
Wow.
but I don't know about Prada. Maybe that's how high-end it is.
She's married to Patrizio Bertelli, a businessman. They have two sons. The eldest is rally driver Lorenzo Bertelli. She's a collector of contemporary art and owns several artworks by young British artists.
Interesting that she's allowed to own art,
Yeah.
and yet.
Oh, and this is a baffling sentence of this Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Over several years, Prada acted as a godmother to a Luna Rossa boat 9 times.
What?
Godmother to a boat.
Wait, what do you mean a boat?
To a Luna Rossa boat.
Wait, I thought her name was Luna Rossa Boat.
No.
No, wait.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, originally named Prada Challenge, then Luna Rossa Challenge, is an Italian sailboat racing syndicate first created to compete for the 2000 America's Cup. And she has acted as godmother to a boat 9 times.
That makes a bit more sense then.
Does it?
I'll say yes. Because at the very
A
least...
total of 9 boats have been built for the America's Cup.
Wait, didn't you say that she did it 10 times?
9 times.
Okay, alright. So each
I can
boat...
do it. I can do it 9 times.
So each boat gets a godmother, but she's
And
just
it's
been...
her.
It's going to be her every single time.
Yep.
Interesting. That's...
And there is, of course, the signature segment of JoJo's World Part 6 Stone Ocean, wardrobe malfaction.
Yes!
In early 2014, Prada was put under investigation as part of a tax avoidance probe by Milan prosecutors. By 2016, both paid more than 400 million euros to settle their tax positions.
Imagine having...
Billionaire and tax cheat Miuccia Prada was the founder of the Miu Miu subsidiary brand,
Oh god, okay.
which has its own controversies page.
Oh my god. Okay, so what does Miu Miu do? Like, why are they a subsidiary and not just Prada?
I mean, that's brands, you know.
Yeah, but like, how are they different?
The name was conceived from her nickname, publicly launched in 1993 with a cowgirl-themed collection of fringed suede jackets and patchwork prairie skirts.
Sounds awfully artistic.
By 2005, Prada worked on distinguishing Miu Miu by setting up a separate showroom for the brand in an Art Nouveau villa that served as Prada's first Milan headquarters.
This is also sounding awfully artistic.
And they launched their first fragrance in 2015.
Does Prada not also do fragrances?
Unclear.
Okay.
Controversies.
Oh, that's a big chunk.
March 14, 2013, reported a counter-report of Prada in violating women's rights was reported to the Office of the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights.
You'll love to hear it.
On May 17, 2013, a statement against sexual harassment and gender discrimination at workplace was released by the UN committee. In April 2013, an American Change.org petition against Miuccia Prada collected over 200,000 signatures around the world. The petition was against Miuccia Prada for countersuing a fired employee for making false statements while voicing her opinion against sexual harassment. This petition damaged the brand image. The UN has backed a former Prada employee over the sexual harassment and discrimination case of Prada Japan. Quote from the employee Boris: "Anyone who buys from the Prada and Miu Miu brands are supporting a culture of discrimination and power harassment." In 2015, the UK Advertising Standards Authority banned a double-page Miu Miu ad that ran in British Vogue after receiving a complaint that the image looked as if a child had been dressed as an adult in a sexually suggestive pose.
Whoa.
That's one malfactored wardrobe.
Jesus Christ, okay.
Jolyne's having a bad time with her memories. She keeps looking at her hands and it's like, find Miu Miu. You can only remember 3 things. And I'm looking at my hands as I say this, as if I am reading.
Yeah, you
Find Emporio.
You're doing a memento.
Yeah.
You're like looking at your
Getting
body.
memento.
Yeah, you've written things on you and you're like, don't trust him. And you're like, oh.
And the rest of the episode is basically this.
Literally her forgetting everything and
Freaking out Gwess.
and the sad...
Dear sweet innocent Gwess.
So Gwess is like... Okay, so I guess to fast
She's
forward...
not engaging.
Yeah, she's just like nodding when Jolyne's like, have I already asked you these questions? She's like, mm-hmm. Have I asked you this question? She's like, mm-hmm. Can you give me a pen?
And she's like holding her book up in front of her face.
Because she's just like, I just want to
I'm vaguely threatened by Jolyne.
Yeah. And Jolene's like, wait, but I can't remember why I started talking to you, Gwess. Have I asked you any questions before?
Gwess reaches into Jolene's pocket and pulls out a note from the doctor, or a note that refers to the doctor. Jolyne, the prison doctor has diagnosed you with temporary amnesia brought on by a great shock you received while in the hole. And then explains the memories thing, and explains that since it won't affect her life as a prisoner, she was released back to the female wing 2 days ago.
Now,
2 whole days of asking Gwess where her pen is.
Now, I'm no psychologist, but
Yeah.
I did do a psych degree. Surely having anterograde amnesia would prohibit one from being a normal prisoner.
I mean, she's still just being a prisoner, I guess.
But, like, she's walking around not knowing what she's doing half the time,
Yep.
right?
And that's this episode. She sees that a note on her hand is that the stand user's name is Mew Mew, asks Gwess to describe Mew Mew, and then Gwess tells her that Mew Mew just walked past. Jolyne walks outside, immediately forgets why she went out there, looks at Mew Mew, is like, who's that?
She's got her fishnets,
Yeah.
ratty blonde hair.
And it does this thing with the animation, which, like, to me, feels like a really good visual representation of, like, cognitive decline.
Oh, yeah.
Where the memories are, like, composed of dots and, like, disperse.
And it's like super fuzzy and super vague.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I remember Emporio, and I remember he came to me, and then there were some bars and something else, but it's not there. I don't know what's going on.
Mew Mew tells Jolyne that she was gonna go get some lunch, so she tries to go and get a bento box, but she doesn't have her lunch ticket.
So she is rebuffed by Cafeteria Lady,
Yeah, recurring cafeteria lady.
who I'm sure was given a name, but we can't remember.
Oh, and there's a brief diversion to Hermes pouring one out for FF.
Yeah, literally like grabbing a glass of water, pouring it out the window, being like, here's to you, bottoms up.
Yep.
And Emporio explains what happened in the hold, and
Yeah.
it's all very sad and meaningful. But it's literally about a minute long.
Jolyne returns to her cell to get her ticket, forgets why she went in there, and starts eating Gwess's lunch.
And then Gwess is like, what the fuck
You ate
doing?
my cheesy penne, the best bit.
And she's like, oh, I'll just go get you a new lunch. And Gwess is like, no, don't worry, I'll get the lunch, just give
So
me a
Gwess
ticket.
goes ahead, Jolyne does follow and sees Gwess arguing with the lunch lady, and then we cut to Jolyne sitting down at the cafeteria table eating more cheesy penne.
She's like, oh, why was I here again?
Why do I always feel like I'm eating the same thing?
And then she looks at her arm. She's like, wait a minute, I can't be eating this lunch, I have to...
Well, no, at this point, Mew Mew comes and sits down with her, and is like, ugh, I stepped on a cockroach.
She's like, wait a minute, do I know you? I feel like I should know you.
Gwess is just torturing Jolyne for no reason here. She
Stamps her
scrapes the cockroach off her foot, mushes it in with Jolene's food. Then before Jolyne instantly kicks the crap out of her, like she would, puts 3 things over it so that Jolyne can no longer remember it's there.
Mustard,
Ketchup and dressing. And then mixes it all in, and then Jolyne eats it.
because she can't remember that it was stepped in.
Yep. And then Gwess spills her drink on Jolene's hand and uses that as an excuse to wipe away all of her notes.
And so pretty much all the notes are gone, but she's still like, oh wait, there's a reason I'm here. There's something I need to remember.
So she uses like the last fragments of her memories of that encounter to get Stone free to sew Find Emporio into her arm. And then the only note that the only pen note that Mew Mew left was you can only remember 3 things.
Yeah.
So she knows you can only remember 3 things and find Emporio.
Mew Mew walks off arrogantly.
Yep. Meanwhile, Emporio is repeatedly electrocuting himself.
So I think the process goes, he's like, oh no, the power's shorting out because I
spilled my water.
1,
Power's shorting out.
2,
I need to find Jolyne.
3.
Oh no, I need to... Hang on, I've got it here.
But then it's like, because of the first 2, it's like, oh, but in order to do that, I need to...
Memory 1, I spilled my water.
Okay, spilled water.
Memory 2, I need to unplug the power.
Because the water and the power...
Memory 3, the power is shorting.
the power's shorting.
Memory 4, I can't leave the room to go see Jolyne.
Oh no.
Whoop.
Only 3 memories now.
And then he keeps electrocuting himself in that loop. That's vicious.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is.
This is why I think that maybe someone with anterograde amnesia shouldn't be treated like a normal
Maybe
prisoner.
so. Yeah, like I really can't emphasize enough how long the whole sequence of Jolyne wandering around aimlessly takes.
It's harrowing. Like, it makes you remember, oh fuck, memory problems are bad.
Yeah.
Like, they're not good.
And so then Mew Mew is like, go see Emporio. Is that what I read on her arm? I should go make sure that kid is getting electrocuted or something.
And Jolene's just kind of like walking through the halls being like, it's only 2 things I need to remember.
And we see that Emporio is like, I need to find Jolyne to tell her. And then we see on his computer is a big photo of Mew Mew.
Oh my god. And a bunch of like notes, like sticky notes written on it. Yeah.
And that's to be continued.
Yeah.
So, Nick,
Yeah.
what are our highlights and lowlights for this episode?
My highlight is going to... I don't want to say it's Emporio electrocuting himself. Damn if it's not a good cycle. I want to say my highlight is when Mew Mew rubs off everything. Because, like, we're in Memento, basically.
Yeah.
But the whole crux of that film is that he's tattooed all this information onto him so that he can
he's
function.
prison break himself.
Yeah, exactly. So that he can look in the mirror and be like, oh, I can still piece it together and it's never going to get wiped off.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting because Mew Mew literally wiped everything off.
How does he do the tattoos if he can't remember?
I don't know. I don't know if he does it himself or if he had someone else do it for him, but like, it's on his body, so concepts. But I like the fact that Mew Mew rubs it all off because it's like, oh shit.
It's back to square one.
Yeah, her one thing of memory.
How many times has she already done this?
Well, for 2 days, you know? That's a long time.
That's a lot of cockroaches to eat.
Yeah, unless it's been longer and the note just says 2 days.
We don't know, I guess.
We literally don't know.
It's been 100 years.
Jolene,
It's like
look in the mirror.
that episode of Doctor Who where he keeps doing the time loop. But at the end of the time loop, if he does well, he can punch a big crystal wall. And over the course of billions of years, he wears it away.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
Yeah, if Jolene manages to punch Mew Mew over the course of 1 billion years. But just like once every
Each time her black eye gets slightly bigger.
You would think Mew Mew would not be in the same position every time, but it's required to make the loop work.
We'll get back to that in a sec. My highlight is Scared Gwess with a crossword book. It's like, immediately, like, something's not right here.
Yeah. You're just like, Gwess, why are you just hiding? Like, why are you holding him in front of your face? Why are you just chilling there?
Lowlights?
Look, this one's a bit tricky, but I want to say the opening where we first meet Mew Mew, because it's like, why was her stand in the bars? Like, it's just after realizing, oh, it's a memory thing. Like, why was it in the bars?
I guess that's how it infects you.
Like, maybe, but it's odd. It's very odd to me that it's like, okay, so it's like Polnareff going back down the stairs, right? Like, when you realize what the power is, you go, but why? But what?
And that works. That's internally consistent.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's just like, okay, so he had to lift him and put him back down the stairs.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, but why did it have to be in the bars? Like, couldn't it just touch her or something? Like, it was just a bit of a strange one.
My lowlight is I feel like the learning about the amnesia sequence was too long. This maybe could have been 1 episode.
But it does make you feel like you're losing your mind.
Yes.
Yeah. It does make you feel like you're losing your conscious memories with all the flair.
Didn't I already see this?
With all the flair of a young
Haven't I
black
already
teenager.
explained this?
What? This memory thing?
Yeah.
What memory thing?
Huh?
Huh? Imagine there's 4 balls.
So, Nick,
Yes.
Father Pucci has left the prison to go to a particular latitude and longitude before the new moon.
Yeah, and he has a new birthmark, a new look, a new style.
Jolyne is getting mementoed by Mew Mew and wants to leave Green Dolphin Street Prison. Emporio's too scared, but he has to find Jolyne.
And he keeps electrocuting himself.
Weather Report has shut himself up in his room for some reason.
He's just too depressed.
And Hermes and Anasui are in the infirmary. What will happen next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, in the episode entitled Jailbreak, with an ellipses.
What?
Jailbreak.
Ellipses.
Jailbreak.
Ellipses. I feel like we've said this before. So maybe it's like a 2-parter because ellipses, where it's like jailbreak ... and then the very next one is...
But we know it's already a 2-parter because of this episode.
No, I mean, like, it'll be like jailbreak ... and then the next one will, like, on Netflix, it'll be like part 1, part 2.
It's not.
Okay.
They put those in the episode titles.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'll be. So my initial thought is that they're not going to get out of jail for like another 7 episodes or something, because it's like that is the central place that we are in. And I can already tell that it's going to take so fucking long for them to formulate.
I will just say, for contextual information, this next episode is the final episode of the second batch of Netflix-released episodes.
Wow, this changes everything. Okay, so maybe it's... So obviously we have to figure out the memory thing.
We got to figure out these memories.
We got to figure out...
How many of them can I have at once?
We got to figure out getting out of jail.
Yep.
And we got to figure out Father Pucci.
So, if you could approach those for me in sequential order.
All right. The memory thing, Jolyne said she only needs 2 pieces of information.
Find Emporio.
Can
remember 3 things.
Can remember 3 things. Nothing else matters. She just needs those 2 things in order for anything else to happen.
Yes.
Or so she says right now.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon she will... go find Emporio. I have no idea how she will find him because it looked like Emporio was in the weird...
He was in his little ghost room.
Yeah, the place betwixt, if you will.
He was in the hunter's dream.
And I don't know how Jolyne's going to get there if Emporio doesn't open up like a door or something to get there. But maybe she'll find like this open doorway.
Or maybe she can just go in.
Maybe. I don't know. Like in the back staircase.
It's unclear. It's vague.
Yeah, she like back rooms it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's what his power is.
Essentially.
Yeah. So anyway, so she goes and finds him, is all like, stop electrocuting yourself. Like literally kicks him away rather than like lifting him away like any decent person. And then he'll be like, oh, you're here. Why are you here? Who are you? Or something, right? It'll be like, Jolyne, you're here. But why? I don't understand. What's going on? She's like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to find you. It's like, why?
But if there's 2 of them, then they have 6 effective memories to work with.
6 slots, which will be 3 of the same things because they're both remembering the same things. So it might just be they'll look around and eventually piece together,
oh, there she is. Let's get her.
There's someone. Why do I have to find them?
You know what would be a real JoJo way of approaching this? Like, a real Jotaro way, really.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who it is, so I'm just going to beat down everyone I see until
I mean, I feel like Mew Mew would notice and just leave.
You know, and the fact that they're in a prison with all the guards makes it difficult.
True.
But that's what Jotaro would do. WWJD.
But that's still what would Jolyne do. So, yeah, I think she'll have to find Emporio, get Baseball Boy's opinion on what's going on, piece together from inside that room.
Yeah, and is that computer picture?
That's the computer picture, but I think they'll be like, but why is this picture here? I can only remember 3 things. What if it's a stand power? Or something to that effect.
Yeah, and how they defeat her.
Well, obviously they'll just punch her.
Okay, that tracks.
But it'd be interesting if it's like the stand is inside them, so they have to like purge it out or something.
Oh, cool.
Which would be interesting, rather than just being like, I touch you and the gift is
so
done.
Emporio has to go into the room inside Jolyne and kill.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay, and so then after that, jailbreak.
Jailbreak, so
I want to know, A, how do you think they're getting out? B, who's getting out?
I reckon, well, Jolyne has to get out. No doubt. Emporio
was born in the darkness.
I reckon he...
I'm so scared, Jolyne.
Yeah, I reckon
I could never leave the prison that I hate.
I literally reckon he will not leave because he'll be like, it's futile for me to leave. My place is here.
I'm a ghost.
Yeah, or something like that. Anasui will want to leave, but will just be like, I'll find you later.
And she'll be like, please don't.
On the beach. So he won't leave. Hermes will come with. Gwes will stay.
Yeah.
Weather Report will come with, I think. But I don't know what's going on with Weather Report right now.
He's got amnesia.
Well, I don't know if he does. Like, I think he might just be sitting in there being like...
He was introduced as having amnesia.
Oh.
Remember? He's got retrograde amnesia.
Oh, but he doesn't... Oh my god, what if he has retrograde and anterograde as well now?
He's got full amnesia.
He's fully amnesiac. The Dark Descent. Yeah. So I think he'll be coming with... In terms of how they're going to do it...
Do we have any other friends? No, Foo Fighters is dead.
Yeah, Foo Fighters dead, yeah.
What about Charlotte?
Please don't remind me that Charlotte exists again. Just anytime you bring up Charlotte, I think of the Warden. I'm like, oh God, oh Jesus, it's too much. It's like, it's just such a visceral shape.
Okay, so how are they getting out?
So they're obviously going to dive her down.
Of course.
But the thing is, everyone's like, you can't escape. It's never been done. Except that it was done earlier in this exact same show where she got to the edge where the Speedwagon Foundation were, or like the ocean.
Yeah, they brought a submarine.
Yeah, they brought a submarine, so she could have just left. So she's already broken out once,
but she didn't leave.
But
she never
didn't
escaped
leave.
Because her dad was slowly drowning.
So maybe they'll literally go out the front door this time instead of trying to go out the back and take the bayou out. They'll like steal a car and just drive out the front.
Okay. And where's Poochie going and what's he doing?
Okay, so longitude 24 degrees or whatever it is, the one that's
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, I do. I do want to know where that is because it feels like it could be in America, but America feels too, like Florida feels too low. You know? It feels too low to be whatever it was. Like 28 or fucking 24.
Making some bold claims when you can't even remember the number. North latitude, 28 degrees, 24 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
West longitude, 80 degrees, 36 minutes.
Maybe it is in Florida. Okay, so somewhere in Florida, maybe there's like a shrine or something.
Sure,
that
some sort of vampire shrine.
Yeah, that Poochie has been cultivating over time. Being like, Dio.
Big old statue of Dio.
What if it's now no longer Poochie?
It's the baby.
It's the Dio.
Oh my God.
What if Dio has now... Because Dio already took over a body of Jonathan.
I mean, the body specifically.
Yeah. Now what if, like, Liquid Snake...
So like a vampire is like a virus, and if you've got any vampire bones in you, that vampire's persona will consume you.
Yeah, so now what if, like, Liquid Snake to Revolver Ocelot, we have eaten Poochie's hand and then grafted ourselves onto
so
where
he's
the
like,
hand would be.
What is he? He's Father Dio?
He's Father Dio. God, so intimidating. He's Father God. Big Papa God.
Oh my God.
I mean, what if, right?
What if?
So maybe he's heading to somewhere in Florida to be
Poochie
like,
Brando?
where's my old stuff that Poochie's been holding on to?
Where's my shit?
Yeah, like literally like, okay, so I remember these coordinates as like somewhere that I know will be safe, and it's like some underground catacombs or something.
Remember this...
In Florida.
These coordinates were given to us in the context of this stand ritual.
Yeah. But then it's like, what happens? Like, what... Like, attaining heaven then just becomes, well, what the fuck is the deal then?
Yeah, Nick, that's the question.
Attaining heaven at those coordinates.
Localized entirely inside the state of Florida.
I mean, my current guess is that Dio's going to come back. That's my current guess.
What if I were to purchase a green baby and disguise it as my own son?
Jolyne walks in. What the hell are you doing here, Father Poochie? Just stretching my cross. Yeah, so my guess would just be that Dio's going to come back via some weird, like, new moon shit where...
Sure, he's going to bloodborne himself.
Exactly. So maybe Poochie will then be dead because he had no desire for anything but...
But he's a pure friend who respects Dio's friendship and would give his life for him.
Exactly. But, like, then
But then, okay, so my question for you is... Why would Dio be planning to do this when he's still alive back in time?
Why would Dio be planning to do
Why was this his plan that he enumerated at the start of the episode when at the time he was alive?
Well, I reckon it must just be like a backup plan, right? Like he must have said, I know they're coming for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. But if I don't...
But he talked about his surrendering his stand to do it. So he had an alternate plan to do it for when he was like... And this is obviously a non-canonical... diversion, but I will just say, of course, that the plot of the PS4 fighting game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven, involves the main villain of that is a Dio who has successfully completed this ritual.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't just be like Dio has found a way to clone himself to make another Dio. Like, surely that wouldn't be it.
So that he can fight and or fall in love with it.
Yeah, but maybe it's not just him being a vampire. Maybe it's like, I can now walk in the sun because of this ritual.
Classic vampire motivation.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, maybe it's like, I've gotten rid of all the weaknesses.
I've attained heaven. I can walk in God's light.
Maybe.
He's basically doing Cars from part 2.
But the other thing is, isn't heaven canonically a place in JoJo's?
Well, I mean, all those souls are going somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Fuck, I literally don't know.
Well, we'll find out next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Stone Ocean, in the episode entitled Jailbreak. But until then, to be continued.